Hi, I want to talk to you a little bit about Facebook advertising. A lot of people think that Facebook advertising just involves boosting a post or creating a quick ad and throwing it out there to an audience, that it really doesn't take a whole lot of work. You can do it that way, but the end result might be less than you would hope for. It can maybe even negatively color your perception of how effective Facebook advertising can be. So what I wanted to do here is show you what a quick overview of a Facebook advertising process looks like for us. So first of all, what we try to do with our client is decide what the goal for the ad is. Is it an awareness campaign so that the Facebook community knows that your business exists, that the local community knows that your business exists? Are you trying to drive traffic to your website? Are you trying to generate leads for sales? Do you want to start engagement, whether it's online in Facebook or somewhere else? And one of the most important but yet complex ones is, do we want to start a conversion? And what does conversion look like? Is it clicking on a button on your website? Is it actually doing a transaction, buying something, purchasing something on your website? It takes a lot more time to set up a conversion, but if you do it right, Facebook can optimize so that the people that it's sending to your website do what you want them to do in the form of a conversion. It can change the way that you advertise and do business, especially if you have a sort of e-commerce or lead generation website. So once you've decided what your goal is, you want to talk about how much money you're going to spend on this advertising campaign. You're going to have some fixed costs, like a management fee from a company like us. You're going to have some creative fees, whether it's taking photos, video, whatever creative process that needs to happen for you to create that ad. And then you need to pay for the ads themselves, whether it's pay-per-click or pay-per-impression, however you end up paying for that ad. You have to factor all of these in. Now, the way that we've done it with our clients is we combine the management and creative fee all into one flat fee, and we do this entire process for that one fee, and then the only additional is the cost of the ad, whatever the budget for that ad is. So you want to see what kind of budget. If you're looking to spend a couple hundred or a couple thousand, it can be incredibly effective. You just have to maybe go in with the expectation of what you're going to be spending. So once we've come up with the goal and once we have set our budget, we want to figure out who our desired audience is. Who do we want sitting in that seat watching this ad? You can drill down incredibly deep with Facebook and get very specific. You can get into demographic information, you can get into their interests, you can get into what their behaviors and activities are. If they're currently on the market for a car, if they're interested in political things, if they're interested in exercising, you can get so deep into it. And incredibly important, especially for local business, is the geographic region that you want to be advertising in. Do you want to be advertising in a certain zip code? Do you want to be advertising within a radius of your business, a region, a city, the entire country, the world, whatever area you're looking to advertise in? You want to make sure you target that properly so that you don't blow your budget, and so that you're also not exceeding what your budget can handle. So that those step 2 and 3 are going to go hand in hand. From a demographic information point of view, it's interesting because you can get into the income of a family, of a household, how much they have invested, what positions a person may hold, what companies they work for, type of industry they work in, how many kids they have. You get in very deep, and if you have a specific segment that you market to, you could really, really drill down into it. And we're going to talk about an interesting way to do it at the end with our bonus information we have here. So now that you have your audience, what do you want to tell them? You have to decide on the message, the overall message that you want to give to that person. What and why should they do business with you? Once you come up with that overall message, you can start working on your creative, which is where we're going right now. So number 5, your creative. What's that going to look like? Decide on one message, one copy message that what you think will be your best copy message. So lay that out, have that out there first. And then you want to come up with a bunch of different creative options and different photos, videos, maybe different variations of photos, some video with a voiceover, some photos with text into it, some photos without text. And then you're going to run them all side by side and see which one comes out on top, and you're going to eliminate all of the other ones. So in the end, you should have one photo or one video that you're running with for the rest of this test and the rest of the campaign. So now that we've done that, now that we've found our creative, we have to figure out what the perfect copy is going to be. So we have the same, just pretend this is the same photo. This is the same photo across all 6 ads that we're now currently running. So this is run for about a week. We're going to test this out for a week or maybe a little bit less. And we're going to have different copy on the post, the headline, and even the subheading. And we can even test out the button, depends on how granular you want to get. So you write different things for each one of these. So all of the ads are going to look the same, but they're going to say different things. You're going to want to try some with a short post, some with a little bit longer of a heading, some with a longer post, and then you might even want to get really verbose and do a really long one. You're going to be incredibly surprised, depending on who you're marketing to and what you're marketing, from one ad to the next, which copy resonates with the audience is going to change. So, and we've seen this a lot with different pictures of vehicles or different visuals. Some people like the more creative stuff. Other people like the more, the handheld cell phone type stuff. And same thing with the copy. Some people like emojis. Some people like long and like descriptive stuff. Other people just want a quick to the point, let me know what I should be clicking on and let's get there. So you're going to test all that out. And again, once you get the results after almost a week, you're going to go from the 6 ads we ran. Number 3 was the best. We pick number 3. We turn off all of the other ones. Now, after we do that, I don't want to get tangled up here. After we do that, we have our ad, we have the creative, we have the copy. We're going to let that sucker run until the finish. And hopefully we picked the right one, we did the evaluation in the right way, and we got great results. So number 10 here is, we have to evaluate what happened. Based on our goals, were we driving traffic? Were we trying to generate sales, leads, whatever we were trying to do? Was it a winner? Or should we put that one to rest and come up with a whole new idea? Now, hopefully, if this was all planned out properly, even if it's not a first place blue ribbon type ad, we learned a lot from it. So we figured out that for this specific audience, we know we have a head start on the creative. We know what's going to resonate with them. So we don't need to play around with that anymore. So maybe we get a little bit more creative here, or maybe where we take them to. If we're taking them to a landing page or wherever they're going, maybe that needs to improve. So there's a lot of things we can learn from a month-long campaign, and you can take that into the next month's campaign. So our bonus material, how to make this more effective. Number 1, and this is something you want to do no matter how technical you are, get your Facebook pixel installed onto your website. At the very least, start collecting information, even if you don't get into the more advanced features of the pixel. You're going to want to possibly, and this goes back up to the audience, you're going to want to possibly upload a lookalike audience or make a custom audience for your campaign. And what you can do here is you can upload your email list. You can upload your website traffic. You can use the website traffic that your pixel's been gathering. And what that'll do is Facebook will analyze that list and try to drive other people that match that list. So they're going to match up. If you say we're doing the email lists, if you email 1,000 or 5,000 email addresses up into Facebook, Facebook is going to match up those users with the accounts, and then they're going to try to find other people that look a lot like them, similar interests, and drive those people to your website. It's very interesting stuff. We're also going to want to create landing pages. Depending on what we're advertising, we can create a landing page for that specific customer to take them, get them exactly where they want to go or where they think they're going. You don't want to, most likely, you don't want to send somebody to the home page of your website or to a generic web page on your website, because they're not, like, if they're clicking on it, they probably want a little bit more than just your home page. So they're going to want, if let's say if you're selling blenders, or you're saying, oh, this is the best blender ever, send them to the page where they can just buy that blender, or send them to the page specific to them. If the ad said this is the best blender for, blending pineapples, then you take them to a page specific about blending pineapples, or a couple of pineapple recipes, or whatever. So you want to send them to something very specific, very targeted to what they clicked on. That way the expectations are proper. If you're talking about generating leads, you can create lead forms in Facebook and gather information so that you can continue to market them to them in the future. And a couple of tips that we got from Facebook themselves as we talked to their advertising department. Timing. When you create a Facebook ad, it automatically makes it an open-ended ad campaign, so it's never going to stop. And from what Facebook told us is that they said make the maximum 30 days. You have to have a start and an end point, because that way it properly optimizes to make sure you get the most leads, conversions, traffic hits, whatever your goal is. You'll get the most conversions within that time frame. If you leave it open-ended, it starts to deteriorate over time, and Facebook doesn't quite optimize it perfectly. So a little tip from Facebook, have an ending time for your campaign. And the last one that they told us, there's a relevance score for all of your ads that are going to be in your ad manager. And the relevance score, for some industries can be 2 or 3 or 4. You have to figure out where, generally your max is, and you can always try to play a game to get that relevance score up. The higher the score, the more relevant that ad is to your audience, and your cost per click should go down, or per impression. But the one key thing they told us about relevance score is that once you see it start to drop, it's never going to get better. So if you start off with a 5 in a relevance score, or an 8, whatever you start off with, if that 5 drops to a 4, if the 8 drops to a 6, then you need to shut that ad off and start all over again. So regardless of whatever our finish line is, if we planned on it being 2 weeks, if something happens, that relevance score starts dropping, then we either have to plan on paying more for those ads and possibly not getting the return that we want on our investment, or we need to turn it off and maybe try to start a new ad campaign. So I hope this explained briefly to you what advertising looks like on Facebook. It's incredibly, incredibly effective, especially if you're going B to C, so selling to a consumer. It is incredibly effective. There's also some tools in there, some targeting you can do to target B2B, but B2C, you can really get down there and target to them, and hopefully make a lot of money and get a lot of conversions from this campaign. So if you have any questions, if you'd like us to manage your Facebook ads for you, you can go to www.snap-fwd.com, and we can certainly discuss doing that for you if you want to call us. We're at 412-440-0099, and I am at extension 2. I look forward to talking to you. Thanks. Bye.